I do believe that this is going to be a multi-year crisis, ladies and gentlemen, not only in shipping, but in the availability of those goods that we use on an everyday basis. Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Ladies and gentlemen, several channels, at least that I visit, have been saying this for a while now, to include myself. Get what you need and get it now, or get it as soon as you can. Get what you need for an extended period of time to get you through a year, if you can. Because this shipping crisis that we're having, ladies and gentlemen, it's not just us YouTubers here telling you that it's going to continue. It's veterans from the trucking industry as well. I've stated in the past that, ladies and gentlemen, this is the song that never ends. It will continue to go on because finally a crisis that can go on forever has been found, and the government will not let a good crisis go to waste. And I'm pretty sure that most of you, if not all of you, know that. I've been driving trucks for 20 years, says a trucking veteran, and I'll tell you why America's shipping crisis will not end. And ladies and gentlemen, this is going to go on a long time. And the problem is that, you know how we have, I think it's over 100 shipping containers off the coast of California alone, or the West Coast. You know how we have all those shipping containers there that have been sitting there, some for over a month? How good are the product inside those containers going to be once they actually get offloaded and taken out of those containers? I think I mentioned in one of my previous videos or live streams where I said that there was a person who owned a shoe store in California, and by the time that he got his delivery, all of the shoes that came out of the container were all moldy, and they had to throw them all away. So this is going to continue, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're not heeding the warning, then get ready to go without. He says, I have a simple question for every expert who thinks they understand the root causes of the shipping crisis. Why is there only one crane for every 50 to 100 trucks at every port in America? No expert will answer that question. And he goes on to say, I am a Class A truck driver with experience in nearly every aspect of freight. My experience in the trucking industry of 20 years tells me that nothing is going to change in the shipping industry. And let's start with understanding some things about ports. He says that outside of dedicated port trucking companies, most trucking companies won't touch shipping containers. And there's a reason for that. But he says here something that's interesting. He says, why is there only one crane operating for every 50 to 100 trucks? And then he says, it's like if you go to Walmart, and this really breaks it down real simple so that anyone can understand it. And that's what he mentions right here. He says, think of going to the port as going to Walmart on Black Friday. But imagine only one cashier for 1,000 customers. Think about the lines. Except at a port, there are at least 3 lines to get to a container, in or out. The first line, the in gate, where hundreds of trucks daily have to pass through 5 to 10 available gates. The second line is waiting to pick up your container. The third line is for getting out. For each of these lines, the wait time is a minimum of an hour, and I've waited up to 8 hours in the first line just to get into the port. Some ports are worse than others, but excessive wait times are not uncommon. It is a rare day when a driver gets in and out under 2 hours. By a rare day, I mean maybe a handful of times a year. Ports do not even begin to have enough workers to keep the ports fluid. And it doesn't matter where you are, coastal or inline port, union or non-union port, it's the same everywhere. And ladies and gentlemen, what's going on is that dedicated truck drivers who don't get paid by the hour, they're not going to sit in a line for 8 hours to pick up a container and then make the same amount that they would have made anyways if the container was available immediately. So they're not going to go there and sit in a line for 8 hours and then haul a container for 10 hours or even cross country, because it's not worth their time. In a majority of cases, these drivers don't come close to my union wages. They pay for all of their repairs and fuel and all truck-related expenses. I honestly don't understand how many of them can even afford to show up for work. There's no guarantee of any wage, and in many cases, these drivers make far below minimum wage. In some cases, they work 70 hours a week and still end up owing money to their carrier. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I'll go ahead and leave the link to this article. As you can see, it is pretty lengthy. All right, let's go ahead and finish it off with this. My prediction is that nothing is going to change and the shipping crisis is only going to get worse. Nobody in the supply chain wants to pay to solve the problem. They literally just won't pay to solve the problem. At the point we are at now, things are so backed up that the backups themselves are causing container companies, ports, warehouses, and trucking companies to charge massive rate increases for doing literally nothing. Container companies have already decreased the maximum allowable times before containers have to be back at the port. And if the congestion is so bad that you can't get the container back into the port when it is due, the container company can charge massive late fees. This is the new normal, all brought to you by the experts running our supply chain. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't understand the severity of this situation now, if you don't understand that you need to stock up, that you need to get prepped up, stock it to the rafters, take that funny money that you have, and instead of letting it sit somewhere, losing its purchasing power, getting things that actually bring value to your life, that add value to your life, that will be there for you when you need it, so that you can use it and have it when you need it, instead of having to look for it all over the place and it still not be available. I was talking about this on Sunday during our live stream. Someone asked about keeping their money in the bank. And I said, it's all fine and dandy that you keep your money in the bank. But the problem is that even if you're earning, let's say you were earning a lot of interest in the bank or in stocks or wherever. Because I was talking about taking some of my crypto money out of the market so that I could take some of my profits and turn it into real stuff. Right? And I'm going to do a video on that because I've been getting a lot of real stuff with my crypto profits. And that's what that's what I've always said I would do. I said, I don't care if it goes to 1 million, because if it goes to 1 million, what's the guarantee that $1 million is going to be able to buy you anything? Or if things will even be available. So why not take some profits now and get things now that you know are available, that you can get now, instead of waiting just to make an extra buck? When it comes to investing, and I'm not a financial advisor, ladies and gentlemen, but when it comes to investing, I've always said, don't be a pig. Have a plan when you go in, but also have a plan to get out. And when you reach that point where it's time to get out, don't be a pig. Don't hope to make another 10% or 20% or 30%. Get out when you said you were going to get out, and turn those profits into things that bring value to your life instead of keeping them in digits on a computer or on a piece of paper. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you're encouraged to go out there and prep. There's no such thing as too much prepping nowadays, because I do believe that this is going to be a multi-year crisis, ladies and gentlemen. Not only in shipping, but in the availability of those goods that we use on an everyday basis. In the increase of prices on everything that we are accustomed to using on an everyday basis. So do you want to maintain your standard of living? Go out there and prep today. Go out there and prep and get those things that you need. Having said that, I hope you have a great day today, right? Remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. I'm Alaska Prepper. I'm out.
Nutrient Survival isn't just survival food. It's special ops grade. Built to the nutritional standards of the U.S. Special Ops and packed with 40 essential nutrients. Formulated to sustain energy, sharpen focus, and keep you and your family thriving during any emergency. Real food, real ingredients. Oh, and a 25-year shelf life. Our meals will kick your taste buds in the mouth and have them coming back for dessert. Yeah, we've got that too. So whether you're digging in or bugging out, you don't just survive an emergency situation, you thrive in it. Nutrient Survival. Feed your freedom.